All right, folks, week 7 is almost in the books. We got 3 games left, including an enormous one tomorrow night between the Lions and the Bucs. That's going to be a huge game. Could go a long way to determining the 1 seed in the NFC, so I can't wait for that. But what a day of football it was today. Especially those 325 games were absolutely incredible. A lot of crazy finishes coming all the way down to the end, and we'll talk about those in a second. But a lot to talk about in week 7. We only got time to hit a few things, so we're going to get right to it. So number 1, are the Chiefs the best team in the NFL? And I think right now they have a really good case to saying they are. Today, Patrick Mahomes played less than 3 quarters, and he played 5 drives and scored on all 5 of them. They had 4 touchdowns and 1 field goal, and they basically did whatever they wanted the entire game. The Raiders had 52 yards in the first half, and it just seemed like the Raiders could barely touch Mahomes, and there was wide receivers running wide open all day long. And this is a team for the last 2 seasons that seemed like that everything on offense was so hard. Patrick Mahomes was under pressure constantly. No one was open, and now that has completely flipped. And when you look at this, when you go from Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster being your 2 best wide receivers to now all of a sudden being your 4th and 5th option, you probably have the best wide receiving core in the NFL. And their wide receivers have really flipped since getting Rashid Rice and Xavier Worthy back. They look like a completely different team. And if you look in the last 4 games, they're 3-1, and they've averaged 32 points per game in those 4 games. And now Mahomes has a total of 18 touchdowns and 2 interceptions this year. They're playing absolutely incredible. And in a season where it doesn't seem like there's any great teams, I think right now through 7 weeks, they're the best team in the NFL. Number 2, Mike McDaniels needs to go tonight. That was an absolutely pitiful performance today by the Dolphins, the most embarrassing loss of the entire season. And this team has completely given up. And I don't see how he makes it to Monday morning. This coach has to go tonight. And Tua has 6 interceptions in the last 2 games. And they are absolutely awful. I think they're the worst team in the NFL. And they've got to move on from Mike McDaniel and Tua. I think the Tua thing's going to be a little more difficult. But that was an absolutely embarrassing loss today to the Browns and Dylan Gabriel. Absolutely pathetic. Number 3, the Colts roll past the Chargers, and they are 6-1 now. And they showed a stat on the game today that now Daniel Jones has scored more points through 7 games than any Peyton Manning team in any season of his career, which is absolutely incredible. This team seems like they can score 30 with ease on anybody. Another incredible win today at Los Angeles. And if you look at their offensive line and Jonathan Taylor, I think they have the best offensive line and running back combination in the NFL. And when you can run the ball like they can, they're going to be extremely hard for any team to beat. Now, I do think they have a lot of weaknesses on defense. Now, luckily for them, that Chargers are down a lot of offensive line. Their defense still does concern me, but this is a team that's playing extremely well right now. And on the Chargers, I think on the offensive line, they've just lost too many guys to be a viable contender. At one point today, Ian Eagle said that they were down to their 6th offensive tackle, and then after that, they lost 2 more offensive tackles, which doesn't even seem realistic to me that you would have that many tackles on your roster. But this is an offensive line that is completely decimated, but nonetheless, an incredible win for the Colts today, Number 4, the Giants-Broncos game today I thought was the craziest ending of the season. And I thought the Giants absolutely blew this game today, a game that they should have never lost. They were up 18 with 6 minutes left. Then with 4 minutes and 51 seconds left, they're up by 10 with the ball. They got the ball 3rd and 5 on their own 35, and Jackson Dart throws one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. A mistake you can absolutely not make in that situation. If they just run the ball there, they have a good chance of picking it up, and even if they don't, they punt it, and the Broncos are barely going to have enough time to even have a chance. After that, the Broncos take the lead. The Giants get bailed out by a couple terrible calls. They score, and then in the last drive there, Bo Nix takes them down. They hit a game-winning field goal after the Giants missed 2 extra points, and the Giants lose a game that they never should have lost. Nonetheless, the Broncos right now are 5-2 and at the top of the NFC West. But Bo Nix, outside of those last few drives, he really struggled through a majority of the day, and the Giants should have won this game. And number 5, the Panthers are 4-3. They have a winning record. This is the worst team in the NFL, and I have not watched a single play of them all year. I have no idea what they're good at, but all of a sudden I look up at the standings, and they're 4-3 and a half a game out of the playoffs. Now, I don't think they're going to get there because they have a lot of tough games coming up, but pretty incredible turnaround by them. A team that at the start of the season, I thought this might be a 4-3 13 team to already have 4 wins at this point in the season is pretty impressive by the coach there, especially the way Bryce Young is playing, which is not very well. I think it's pretty incredible for them to be at 4-3 right now. So huge game tonight between the Falcons and 49ers, and then tomorrow night we got the Bucs and the Lions and the Seahawks and Texans, so 3 pretty big games left, and we'll talk to everyone next week.